Most importantly, son of the soil, leader of this house, cool man, a man of few words but more action, Honorable Japim Tuamhango as Minister of Transport. Then the Minister of Justice. This is not a mean achievement to the people of Rumpi. All these years, people that have been saying, this time, things are going to work. First Deputy Speaker, sir, page by page of Professor Arthur Peter Mtarika, people have failed to find a problem. From what I've been hearing, people are bringing in more suggestions to agree with the president from the shortest speeches in the format of SONA formulation in the past years. I am a person who is straightforward. When I say this is right and this is right, I'll never take my left leg to my right leg. First Deputy Speaker, sir, on page 4, the President, on page 4 of the State of the Nation address, he talked about the situation that he found in this country, about fuel crisis. I think Malawians, they are there to tell this country whether in the SONA he lied anywhere or he stated in a wrong way. But everyone agrees that the fuel crisis has gone. And I don't believe. I don't know, it looks like fuel was hidden somewhere. The maize was hidden somewhere. School fees for the CDSs, the most vulnerable students in Lumpi West. We don't have a national secondary school in Lumpi West. We have CDSs. This time now, when I go to Katowo, I go to Vwaza, I go to Bembe, I go to Kampenda, I go to Mazisi, I go even to the former boundary of my constituency, Borero, and Chikwawa. It's full of learners. And I've been told that girls this time now they are refusing men because they want to go far with education because they are sure of the school fee. First Deputy Speaker, sir, Malawians are expecting a miracle from a 5-year damage to have Forex. I repeat, whoever who was in previous government knows where the Forex is, or the solution to Forex is. Let him show us. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the President during inauguration ceremony or inauguration speech, he mentioned 3 things that he wants to deal with them as immediate. They are long-term problems. Yes, we all agree. But he mentioned about debt crisis this country is passing through, the Forex issue. The Forex issue, I hope by minimizing foreign trips, the President is addressing usage of money, and we are saving money. That's why now, in the few months before, we were failing to find Panadol in hospitals. Small painkillers. But this time, people of Rumpi West, they're able to access a painkiller. Women are able to find Panadol. They are able to find aspirin. It can't be a miracle, everything to happen, unless someone knows where these things were hidden deliberately and they are going to release at a certain day. First Deputy Speaker in Agriculture. The President he mentioned clearly about the roadmap in terms of FISIP, that he wants a reform. He acknowledged the challenges that we had. In 4 months, I'm wondering how the President has managed to find fertilizer. Was fertilizer really in this country? Suppose the other side of this house was in power. Where would have they taken the fertilizer? I would like to appeal to the Minister of Agriculture next year, this year, financial year, please start preparing in time so that we keep those people who are doubting about the policies of Peter Mutharika's, they have to shut up their mouth. We are passing the budget in a few weeks' time. Start planning of FISIP if next year is going to be there, so that we produce more next year and possibly lift the ban on exportation of the maize. We are going to have forex adding on top of tobacco. First Deputy Speaker, sir, on road transport. The President, I'm grateful to the President because he didn't want to promise more because he knows the situation that is there. But I am interested in the issue of Rumpinyika, Chitipa and Harire Road. We would like to thank the President because he is the one who launched it in 2019 at Borero Roundabout. In other books, when I check, the record shows that 18 kilometers were tarred in the previous zona. But actually, it's 5.1 kilometers which is covered. I want people from Rumpi West to judge the previous zona and this zona. My appeal to government, if you know clearly that you are not going to find money for the Rumpinyika Road within 5 years' term, we are ready to wait, remove our name, remove our road from the priorities until such a time you find money. Because we don't want to dent the President's name in the name of putting a road in the zona while not being implemented and cheating like the other Batmayas who lied that there's 18 kilometers of road. There's nothing, unless if it is in heaven. This situation from Bwengu First Deputy Speaker, we have deep potholes there. If the rains come, you can even put fish there. Within few months, we can create them as ponds. I had an assurance in this morning, the Minister of Transport, he assured the people of Mzimba and Rumpi that that section is going to be attended to. That should be, even if you say, Rumpi, we are going to do it later, but let's deal with the Bwengu to Chipokaore section. I'm ready, and I'll thank the President the whole of my life. Because this is the only section that connects people of all races, to Rumpi, to Nyika, to Chitipa. If Bwengu is cut off, we lay on Njakwa to Pampa. The other section too, because our friends only built it on paper, it is in problems. On decentralization, page 8, if you heard people from the north, always have been talking, being left out in terms of government funding, they were looking for this decentralization within the page 8, where 5 billion has gone to every council. The President assured us that he can't promise that what he can't deliver. What we are appealing to the Minister of Local Government, root out corruption immediately in councils, misprocurement, overpricing. This is a game changer. This is a game changer. And I tell you, don't implement it because DPP will be a one-party state. I'm very worried. I am very worried because this money going to a constituency, what are you going to talk about? This money going to Piriranjuzi. This money going to honorable leaders' constituency, I don't think even he can continue talking about this is Kiam. This is cyclone Mkurukuta Moyo. The fears members of parliament are fearing is misuse of the funds. That's why each and every day they are pressing the government to say, we want to bring back the CDF bill. They are afraid of this money because this is a spinal cord. This is a hypothalamus. This is the brain. This is the heart. And this is the only thing that Kurukutamoyo will leave to the people of Malawi in history. I urge government, please don't implement it because the opposition is going to be finished.
2 minutes to go.
I am about to finish. First Deputy Speaker, sir. First Deputy Speaker, sir. The President, on page 10, I'm going back to agriculture because when I was talking about agriculture, the minister was not around. I'm going back to agriculture on page 10. Madam, we know you are a performer. Next year, we don't want to get fertilizer in November. But start earlier because the budget is going to be passed in a few weeks. Please, in areas where we have experienced dry spells, please consider irrigation. That fertilizer that is being rotten at NIF, 15 billion fertilizer, please get that fertilizer, give it to people who can produce, not who can try to produce. Tourism. The President agreed to the ATM strategy, but I found that I've missed one place that is a tourist attraction that can bring in Forex. It is the Nyika National Park. The Nyika National Park is failing to appear on the Malawi map because of the road that is connecting, is connecting the place from Bwengu to Shitipa. Please, if you open up this road, tourism and Forex will be beefed up. On energy, we thank the President for promising to do something in energy so that we start allowing more manufacturing companies to invest in Malawi. But I appeal to government to immediately remove the political sabotage that is hindering the establishment of Fufu in Luntha. We have the potential to produce about 200 megawatts. If we don't have money as government, let's give it to people who can do. What people of Malawi, they are looking for is not who is doing what, but if they have the energy so that this country can transform. Fufu should be a priority.
With these few remarks?
With these few remarks, First Deputy Speaker, I support the SONA, but corruption is standing on the way. I hope the President is going to do something. The executive is doing something on its own. Parliament is doing something on their own. Judiciary is also doing on. Let's all, as Malawi, join hands so that we can move from a poor country to a country that people can reckon. Thank you.
Thank you for those submissions. I recognize the honorable member for Chirazo Nyungwe for a submission on the SONA. After Chirazo Nyungwe, the honorable Deputy Minister of Natural Resources should be prepared to present their submissions. Thank you.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the good people of Chiradzuro Nyungwe on this very beautiful afternoon. I wish to firstly deliver a message that was sent to me from T.A. Chitera, T.A. Nchema, and T.A. Mpama, that they're so very happy and they fully commend the President, Professor Arthur Peter Muntarika, for a very well-structured, well-articulated State of the Nation address that was presented here in Parliament on Friday, the 13th of February. Mr. Speaker, sir, the SONA provided good direction. It gave the people confidence, and also it gave a sense of purpose to the leadership that has now taken over our beloved country. Mr. Speaker, sir, as a youthful member of Parliament, I want to urge my fellow youth in all the spaces of Malawi to really pay attention to some of these important documents that are presented here in Parliament. For example, I like to think that youth participation is more than just voting, and it goes beyond that. So for us to really appreciate the good governance that we have now, it is so important that we must first pay attention, number one, to the DPP manifesto. Because in as much as it attracts the voters, but it gives the people of Malawi the promises that DPP want to deliver to this nation. Secondly, we must pay attention, very close attention, to the State of the Nation address, because now this is how the President wishes to implement or provide policy direction towards those promises that were articulated in the manifestos. And then lastly, we need to pay attention to the very important national budget, which then explains how we intend to finance some of the commitments that were previously made. One thing that I noticed about the SONA is that it is very, very well aligned with the manifesto that the DPP had very beautifully prepared, Mr. Speaker, sir. This gives us confidence because the SONA, as it demonstrates this alignedness to the manifesto, it means that this country is now moving in order, and all the aspects that were mentioned as we were campaigning are now being delivered in a very, very short period of time. This goes across all the sectors: agriculture, energy, mining, youth and women empowerment, decentralization, education, health, just to mention a few. This, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, is in sharp contrast with what, as a nation, we've been experiencing before, where a government seems to promise but not do, and at the end of everything, they leave us with apologies and excuses and blame shifting. I was unfortunate enough to once be invited to a SONA for the youth, where a president pretended to look like us, dress like us, walk and talk like us, but did not have any youth in mind. One issue that I wish to point on, because a lot of the speakers have already spoken on other development issues that the SONA speaks on, but one issue that is tucked in towards the end of the document, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the President, His Excellency, Professor Arthur Peter Muntarika, urged all government agencies and ministries to embrace digital technology. We are in a time where some African leaders seem to respond to digital spaces with internet shutdowns and barriers to entry, but I'm so happy that the president decided to embrace the same technology that others used during campaign to attack him through social media and other means. This, Mr. Speaker, sir, reflects true leadership by the president. I remember that in some of my academic research papers, we have looked at the importance of artificial intelligence and other digital technologies in things such as agriculture, advisory networks, things such as healthcare systems, and the list is endless. So I'm very proud that the Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika wishes to increase the use of technology for this DPP government. To the youth that are in digital spaces, the professor is providing us with a great opportunity here. Because what this means is that we are the ones that are to take on jobs in the digital space and to start businesses that can help the government in achieving its set goals. If you may recall, we now have 100 million kwacha for youth and women empowerment loans per constituency. This can help us to sharpen our digital skills. It can help us to package them professionally and also position ourselves better to provide the services that the Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika wants in this new innovative Malawi that is coming very soon. To my seniors, I wish to ask, especially those in public service, that we procure these digital and technology services from local youth, because when we do that, that means we're not only empowering the youth, but we're creating sustainability, as if we procure such services from outsiders, then as soon as the contract ends, we're unable to continue and maintain those systems that we had spent taxpayers' money on. Mr. Speaker, sir, I believe on this digital economy that's coming, this is a very strategic move by the Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, so we must all be very open to the change that is coming, and I strongly support it. And now, as we look ahead for the national budget, I would also like to urge that as government, we deliberately invest heavily in technology, digital skills building, and locally driven innovations. I thank His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika for setting the tone in his very constructive State of the Nation address. The direction has been set. It's now up to us as Malawians, all the generations that are existing in this space, to be able to implement what the good professor has put forward for us. Malawi is now recovering, as he had said, in a very short time of 4 months. We're now delivering what others could not in 5 years. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, sir, I strongly support the SONA. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations, Honour Member, for such a delivery. It represents the young people. The young people should be very proud to have you in Parliament and articulate issues like that. I'd already recognized the Deputy Minister of Natural Resources for a submission on the SONA. Honour members, if you would like to participate, you raise it with me, you send a note, or you rise on the floor of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing me to say a word, add my weight to the SONA, to welcome it, and to thank the State President for delivering a SONA that was straight to the point, a SONA that was full of hope, a SONA that gives direction to where the nation is going. Before I start, Honorable...
Why are you raising? Why are you raising?
Your Honor,
Honourable
Second
Minister,
Deputy
please
Speaker.
resume your seat.
I just wanted your guidance at this stage that the honourable member taking to the floor is not a member of parliament. He is just in cabinet. So I don't know, I need your guidance, Your Honor, that at this stage, someone who is not a member of parliament is allowed to do that. I just need your guidance.
Thank you.
Let the standing orders guide us.
I can guide. Let me order on our members. Order on our members. Your point of order is noted. Let me guide the House as follows. The Constitution, I'm referring to the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi. Section 96 of the Constitution, it talks about the members of the cabinet shall have the following functions. So on A, B, C, on C, to initiate bills, on B, to direct, coordinate, and supervise, to prepare, explain, and formulate. So to conclude that submission, or that list on Section 96 of our Constitution permits the Honorable Minister to make a submission. Okay. And because of that list that I've provided, if you go to 96E, Honorable Member for Lilongwe Nyanja, may I have your attention? If you go to E specifically, and I would like to read it with your indulgence, to be available to Parliament for the purpose of answering any queries and participating in any debate pertaining to the content of the policies of the government. In conclusion, the Honorable Deputy Minister is allowed by the Constitution of Malawi to participate in the debate of this House. Honorable Deputy Minister, welcome to Parliament. Congratulations. Please, you can resume your seat.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, for that explanation and for the welcome to the House. Indeed, I would like to start off by thanking the State President for the appointment that I be a Deputy Minister in the Ministry of Natural Resources. As you are aware, Deputy Speaker, indeed, I did not make it on the 16th of September. And previously, when I was here, those ministers who were not MPs, I used to call them strangers. So accept this stranger in the House, First Deputy Speaker. But indeed, let me continue to thank the State President for the appointment and for the opportunity to represent Malawians in this august House. Honorable Speaker, the President said that the SONA is the path to economic recovery It is delivering a people-centered development. Out there, I think maybe because of the excitement that the state president is back as the 7th president of the Republic, most members of the opposition did not really get that this is a SONA to do with fixing the economy. As soon as the state president delivered it, there were people making suggestions that the state president did not touch on the plight of Malawians. Yet, this SONA is all about economic recovery. This SONA is all about bringing our welfare back to where it was supposed to be. This SONA is pointing out the damage that the Malawi Congress Party did to our country, and the plans that the state president and his Democratic Progressive Party have to put us back on the right path to economic recovery. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I wish to say that the president indicated that as we are on the way back to recovery, he has bought maize for this country so that the people do not die of hunger. He has managed to bring affordable fertilizer on the market so that people can buy fertilizer that is cheap, that is going to help in the planting season. The state president and his administration have made the fuel available. People have pointed out that as we were going to elections, we were coming from spending the night at filling stations looking for fuel that was elusive. But now fuel is available. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we are even not just having fuel under Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. He has gone further, that now he is restocking the reserves that were depleted. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we all know that by the time we were going to the elections in September, 3 months prior to that, all the reserves were depleted. So we are looking forward to the state president bringing us back to the good old days when we had fuel available, as it is happening now. Honorable Deputy Speaker, talking of things that were not working, in the SONA, we have been told that this country stopped roads maintenances in 2020. 4 years ago, Deputy Speaker, you can imagine now why we are failing to go back to our constituencies properly. We are failing to go back to our homes properly. Now, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, the state president has even said that we are getting more aircraft and aeroplanes because the roads are that bad. We can't, we just need to be flying because we cannot get back on the roads, roads that have not been maintained for 4 years. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this country is now on the way back to recovery. The time of endless consumption and importation is going. The time of endless borrowing, where our inflation and our interest rates were very high, is now on the way out, because the president has promised that in the SONA. The president has made it clear that the budget sitting that is happening now is the first budget sitting of this government. And he has said that this is the time now that the government will start implementing its manifesto and economic programs in full. That's what the president has said in the SONA. We are looking forward to a president who will put in proper austerity measures, proper recovery measures, proper developmental programs. We are thankful that he has already started, even from a budget that inherited, that was massacred by the time the elections were happening. We know that the budget that was passed by this House in 2025, by the time that the Malawi Congress Party was going out of power, it had been basically torn apart, massacred, and there was nothing in there. The professor is building. We appreciate that, and we look forward to the many programs that he is implementing. We look forward to value addition of minerals. We look forward to factories being set up. I should say, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that I'm particularly happy to read in the SONA and to hear from the SONA that the President will not only make fertilizer available, but we will actually be producing fertilizer. We want to, through the President, end this cycle of getting fertilizers from unknown places, getting fertilizers from where we are actually supposed to get meat, getting fertilizers from where we are supposed to get Panados. We will be producing fertilizer under this President and under his DPP government. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we are indeed on the road to recovery. When a president introduces austerity measures, the president has cancelled contracts that the previous government put in place that were draining resources from Malawians. The president is putting up a government that is centered on development and centered on helping the people. Honorable Deputy Speaker, there's a lot in the SONA, a lot that was delivered in a short period of time because there was no flowery language or anything to make it look good when it wasn't, but it was straight to the point. It was full of developmental plans, full of recovery plans, full of hope, and it is a SONA that all Malawians should be proud of, and we look forward to the implementation of whatever is in the SONA. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I implore honorable members in this House, government officials out there, the whole country to rally behind the President, because we have seen that he is a president who changes things. It is not the first time. It is not the first time that the President has come into the country, has come on the seat when the country was in economic problems. We know that after Cashgate and other donors going out of the country, the President came in and revived the country. The economy was back on track. Things started going the right way. Unfortunately, we had this 5-year blip when things went crazy as well. Things went haywire. We pray to God, we thank God.
In conclusion?
We thank God that he has brought Nkulukuta Moyo back, and Nkulukuta Moyo is on the scene. Nkulukuta Moyo is on the seat to lead the recovery And with these few remarks, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I support the SONA and urge everyone in this country to do the same. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister of Natural Resources. I now recognize Honorable Member for Mulanje West for a contribution. You are starting at 1444. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker. Through you, I would like to thank the members and the people of Mulanje West, Juma, and all those group village headman Chimbalanga, Ngumera, Nkando, Juma, Mulunguzi, Mwawihe, for having the privilege of asking me to represent them in this August House. And they've asked me to contribute to the SONA, a very brief and summarized SONA. And we congratulate the President. My plea is to ask those people who used to travel that when they travel going to America, they should not inherit the assets. Because we were able to hear what the President was talking about. We were able to follow what the President was talking about, comparing to a number of people when they come in here, they speak things which we cannot even listen and hear and understand what they're talking about. But I would like to thank the President for that. In fact, thank you so much for knowing that it's about you, but I didn't mention the name. The Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, the issues which I'm going to tackle here, the issues of maize. Yes, indeed, we're able to access to maize at a good, affordable price. And the people out there, they're able to buy maize at an affordable price. We were now selling our country because maize is a safe food in the country, but the way how we are buying, the prices which we are buying maize in Malawi, it was really questionable. And people couldn't even make it to buy maize. It would have come even at 90,000 per bag or 100,000 a bag. But now they're able to afford to buy food and eat. What we are looking forward is to ask the Minister of Agriculture to look into the policy of agriculture. That as we are importing maize from Zambia, come next year, having the budget come this Friday, that we need to have our own. Even the categorizing our districts to say we are able to grow a lot of maize in Zimba, let maize be empowered in Zimba, let Zimba be empowered fully to produce a lot of maize. We're able to produce a lot of nuts in Chinji, let the farmers in Chinji produce a lot of nuts, and we should also add value in the country than even selling the raw nuts than adding value so that we should just sell and employ people here in the country. What we are seeing now is to export the raw material of groundnuts, of pigeon peas, like which we grow in Mulanje, Palombe, because people they're able to eat in India and also in other countries, than even adding value here in the country, that we can even employ our own people, the youth, so to say, so that we can even sell already processed food export already processed food abroad, that we can even empower the economy of the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, we can also do that with cotton in the Sanje and Chikwawa. We can do that even in meat for Zimba as well. We can also do that with cooking oils that we can ask in Mulanje. We always plant sunflower, and also in Chinji, they can be producing cooking oil and importing cooking oil from abroad, and we can be doing here, and we can also add value and top up the 100 million Malawi Kwacha, which we are going to empower the youth in different constituencies. Let me applaud government for that, because at first we used to be hearing about NIF, which we were milking already well-established youth. NIF is not all that good for the youth. If anything, we need to look into it. Because the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, we borrow, or we are going to lend money to the youth, almost 10 million to the youth from NIF. What they are going to pay back is more than 10 million, and maybe it might be 100 million. This way of doing it is also starving the youth in the rural areas where they've started their own business and they're able to make their own money from the small business which they're doing. And when we encourage them to borrow money from NIF, it's just even starving them, milking the already thin cow which we have in the country. So the 100 million is a thing to pat the government at the back that they've done well, that the 100 million is going to empower the youth and go borrow money without having problems, as the case with NIF. At the end of the day, the few people, they are the ones who were benefiting. If I go back, the Right Honourable Speaker, the President said about the markets of the city of Luntha, Lilongwe, and Nzuzu. These, if there are going to be also industries where we are going to processing our seeds, let's say pigeon peas in Palombe Mulanje, if you're going to be selling to the very business people in Luntha, and they process it in Luntha, they're going to get a lot of money than selling the whole pigeon peas from Luntha, from Mulanje, Palombe, Chiladzulu, and Cholo to South Africa, Zambia, Tanzania, as well as India, whereby we are going to make a loss than process it and sell it there, where we are going to empower the economy of the country. We are looking forward that if they're going to top up on making industries, big industries, on top of the city, the markets, the two-story markets which are going to construct in Luntha and Nzuzu as well as in Lilongwe. And I'm sure they're not going to forget Nkando market. The Minister of Local Government can agree with me that Nkando is a growing now town, is going to be a city, and it gives out to the district council a lot of money from the market. So if you're going to have a very good market, not a two-story market at Nkando, but just a very good market, we can also salute you, the Right Honourable Speaker, through you to the Minister of Local Government. In the agriculture, we used to have OVOP. Where is OVOP, as I've already said, about categorizing different districts with the produce which they're going to produce? We need to have this, and we need to have agro-processing if you want to increase the economy or to empower the economy of the country. We need to add value as well, the Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, to what we should also be doing in the country as we are producing cotton, as we are producing pigeon peas, as we are producing groundnuts, as we are producing maize in the country. So OVOP was important, and we need to look into this. For the fertilizer, we need to salute the Minister of Agriculture. Yes, in our constituency, in Mulanje West constituency, they've managed to buy the subsidized fertilizer. Only that we are experiencing a lot of heavy rains now. The month of February, March, and maybe April. And even if we've applied fertilizer, we are going to experience also hunger because it is Palombe, Tuchira Plain, the constituencies of Mulanje West, Mulanje North, and Mulanje Pasan. These are the areas which we experience. We need to have moderate rains if we ask to harvest. But we need to salute the Minister of Agriculture. He has done a lot. He didn't even politicize, and he was able to smartly announcing to the people that this is for everyone. And the President has rightly said that this is for every Jim and Jack to access to fertilizer. I need to applaud you, the Minister of Agriculture, for doing that. You've bailed us out to some of the things which we were experiencing. I need also to comment on the mining, which the President said. The Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, if we are to focus very much on mining, we can even fund the whole budget for this Parliament. What we are asking the government, the Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, is to empower the experts and have a very expertise who are going to look into the mining. And we need to process all those than selling our gold and whatever abroad than doing it here, where we can also employ the youth to be processing that. And those who will be looking into that, the President has already said that he's not going to condone corruption because some of these things, let me say this, we haven't even benefiting from the minerals which we have in the country because some of them, they were just having them in their houses. Some were even selling those to state house. Some, they were just taking them in briefcase, going abroad with that, without even empowering the local people, even without even selling here that we've got to benefit and have a lot of money from the minerals which you have in the country. So if the Minister of Mining is going to look into it and make sure that we are doing it alone here, we empower people here, they do that, we process our minerals, the better we are going to do by empowering the youth, the women, and also bring economy to the country, because take it or leave it, mining can fund the whole budget of this August House without even, and we can also even agree to say, okay, the same as what agriculture can do and mining can do. We say, okay, Nchinji, you can produce the 5 billion yourself within the country from each and every constituency. Mulanje, you can do that because you have your own minerals, you have your produce, we can produce and you can even process it and you sell abroad and you get money. In that way, we can be exporting things which are already added value to the other countries across the border. In terms of infrastructure, road...
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I'm winding the Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker. The President talked about road infrastructure. Indeed, this is so paramount in terms of the development of the country. I want to comment on Cheu Sangano Road. It's a very important road where we have a lot of wheat in that area. We can also be processing that wheat into our own bread if we are going to have this road, which the President has said that is going to have it in Sangano, Cheu, and Mwanza, and Neno. And in that way, we can also be transporting fruits from Mwanza to Luntha, and having without even transporting fruits from Mwanza, we can also have factory there and produce our juice there and empowering the local farmers. So, the Right Honourable Speaker, I wanted to comment on this, which also electricity is also very paramount, which brings development, and I'm sure the Minister of Energy is going to look into it as what the President has said. And we're looking forward for the electrification of a number of trading centers. You talk about Wende, or we talk about Liwonde, we talk about Muhio, Chimbalanga, we talk about Chesan. These are the trading centers which are looking forward to be electrified when the budget is going to be passed come Friday. And the First Deputy Speaker, what we are looking forward is not free. We are talking about the boarding education. As I'm winding, we will salute the government for the free education. But in terms of the boarding, if the next season, the next year, if you look into subsidizing the boarding, the better. Not free boarding, but let's subsidize it so that we should also be bailed out. Because each and every time we are not sleeping, people coming for the boarding fee, to pay boarding fee. We said, the President has done good, that each and every Jim and Jack, nobody should let down or should not drop from school because of school fees. Now, for the boarding, let's subsidize it if it will be possible for the Minister of Education to do that. But we salute you, and let's the part be at the government if the part is supposed to be given to the government, that you've done well and you've built us well, we've built us out of the problems which we used to have. And I'm sure I will be waiting for the budget come Friday to see where the budget whereby some of us were not free in this country. We were even threatened to live in this country. Where is they going to have the budget where we're going to look into the plane which crashed in Chikangawa? This is what we are looking forward come Friday, that in that we should see the budget so that we should be free Malawians in these ones. People were traveling, people were just bringing the drone in our homes to see whether we are there or not. And this is the government where we're able to sleep. And when the rain was raining, we were afraid to say, are they driving, coming to my home or whatever? So we need to investigate in that plane crash and the budget. That's what, Friday if I'm coming from that, nothing else. I'll be coming from that. Are we having the budget for the plane crash in Chikangawa? Because we are free, but if you're not looking into that, you've done well, you've started well in the corruption. You've started well in doing whatever, the food, the fuel, you've started well, but you are looking for this. Nobody should let this take this nation as if it is his or her nation. It's for everybody, where everybody is supposed to be free. And we pat you out the back for whatever you're doing. Shame if you are one of them. Even if people were just shouting on the meeting to say, hey, and we hear today that these are the very same people who were buying fertilizer without even looking into the purpose of buying the fertilizer. And some of them, they're lotting there, yet people were suffering, failing to access some of these NIF items, which they said, we are going to give you money, and you're going to give you maize, you're going to give you fertilizer, and when you do that, you're going to give us money. At the end of the day, we found that in the warehouses, a lot of that, and as Public Accounts Committee member, we'll be looking into that to see who is this one. Because people are pompously announcing as if NIF of their salary, as if NIF was their food, as if NIF was their child, whereby people are not even free to have that money. Thank you so much, the first Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Mulanje West. I would like to encourage your committee through the chairperson that is outside to indeed look into those anomalies and report to this House at an appropriate time. Malawians who contribute for their taxes need to know what was happening, what is happening. Your parliament will give you that support to do that. Thank you very much. The honorable member for Lilongwe.
Lilongwe, Msinja South.
Lilongwe, Msinja South. You have 10 minutes, sir.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing one of your own to make a contribution. Right, Honorable Speaker, when the President rises before Parliament to deliver the State of National Address, it carries both symbolism and responsibility. It's not only about constitutional procedure. Right, Honorable Speaker? The SONA in itself has two functions. Number one, to the citizens from Mitundu, it is the time when the President has to explain the economic and social condition. Number two, to Parliament, it is the time it calls for Parliament to examine the path forward. The SONA that was delivered by His Excellency, Right Honorable Speaker, it provided the national report card and the policy roadmap for the year ahead. Right Honorable Speaker, we have three essential functions. Number one, it provided the honest and the data-driven assessment about the economy. And number two, it provided some of the solutions and policies when you read SONA page number 6 to page number 20. But number three, Right Honorable Speaker, it tried to give the MDAs and ministries that when I give you the policies, the direction, you need to go back and create the timelines and performance targets so that the performance appraisals should speak to the SONA. Right, Honorable Speaker, acknowledging a crisis is not solving it. But I would like to tell the members of this national dialogue table that when you read the SONA entirely, you will see that the issue is about implementation. And reading from page 6 to page 20, their responsibility to implement the SONA lies in civil servants. When you talk about 5 billion, for example, and when you come at Lilongwe District Council, where we have 18 members of Parliament, we expect to receive the sum of 9 billion. But Honorable Speaker, 95 billion. But Right Honorable Speaker, the first, it's a lot of money. And when we talk about civil servants, for the past 5 years that I've been in this national dialogue table, we have failed to utilize the sum of 4 billion. Because, Right Honorable Speaker, we have civil servants that are demotivated. As we speak in this national dialogue table, we need to sit down and look at when the President is coming and talking about agricultural transformation, he's talking about the extension worker from Msinja South constituency. we need to define and understand if that extension worker is motivated. Because if the civil service in itself is not motivated, it will be so hard to implement the 5 billion in my constituency, because what we want is the workforce that is motivated. Right, Honorable Speaker, it will be so hard, even if the budget will speak to the SONA, if we fail to motivate the workforce that will implement the SONA that is visionary and that is speaking to the problems that our people are facing on the ground. We can't expect excellency from a system that we have failed to motivate. Right, Honorable Speaker, as I was beginning to submit my submission, I said the President appeared before Parliament, and he said, Parliament, I'm giving you my dream. You need to go and implement. You have the responsibility to play a role of oversight. Right, Honorable Speaker, one of the things as a National Dialogue table members we need to look at is where we need to motivate the people that will carry and drive the agenda that the President did submit. Otherwise, we are going to continue coming in this National Dialogue table talking about promises, promises, and promises. The people that are supposed to carry this agenda are not motivated. As a member of Parliament from Sinja South constituency, I think we need to look at the councils and look at the manpower, look at the motivation, look at the salaries, look at the benefits. Because if we don't, it will take years and years failing to use the 5 billion. Right, Honorable Speaker, the reality on the ground, when we talk about the projections, talk about the recovery, the President in pages 1 and 4 says people outside there are living in pressure. They are not living in projections. They are failing, the businesses are failing to access forex, farmers are struggling with input costs, land graduates remain unemployed. That's what the President said. He offered solutions. But, Honorable Speaker, I think we need to go beyond what we speak. Speeches don't change the economy. Right, Honorable Speaker? Policies do not implement themselves. Projects are not built by speeches. Subsidy programs do not administer themselves. But what? Civil servants, from agriculture offices to ministry, planners, and financial controllers, translate policy into results. We need to look at implementation, right, Honorable Speaker. We cannot speak of economic transformation while we are overburdening the very people tasked to deliver it. These are the civil servants. We need to be honest, Honorable Speaker, as we are going into the time when committees will be meeting. We need to listen how many people are supposed to recruit so that this agenda should be implemented. We need to listen how much should we increase in salaries, because that's the only motivation that a civil servant is looking. Very lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, if the President came in this chamber, he knows members of Parliament are very important. He never delivered a SONA at Masintano. He never called a press conference to deliver a SONA. He came in this chamber to deliver a SONA because he knows members of Parliament are very important to help the President achieve his agenda. He knows when we talk about the 5 billion, the people that need to make sure to provide the oversight are these members of Parliament. He never went to the councils, he came here. Right, Honorable Speaker, we need to realize how important we are because the President came in this chamber. Very last, Right, Honorable Speaker.
Honourable member for Lilongwe, Mapuyu South, please go back. Go back where you came from, please. You're actually obstructing the chair to a most important submission the honourable member is trying to make. Honourable member, repeat, did you say we are important?
Right, Speaker, the first, what I'm saying, Honorable Speaker, he never went to present a SONA at Masinta. He never called people to a press conference. Yeah. He decided to come in this chamber because he knows we are the implementers of the SONA, of the budget, and of the 5 billion. Yeah. Right, Honorable Speaker, we need not to become an echo chamber for executive. We need to understand the value that we have as a national dialogue table. The President of the Republic spent 45 minutes plus speaking to us, and he said, I will not mention all the things that I'll do in the health sector. I'm depending on you, members of parliament, to construct more health posts. He spoke it here. He never went to councils, to councillors, or somewhere else. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, the time has come for members of parliament to realize their responsibility. To realize their responsibility. The Republic is waiting for the budget on a Friday, and it will be presented here. So the SONA in the National Dialogue Table Parliament, budget in here. And it's us that we need to go to the villages to perform the oversight function. Honorable Speaker, it took the president to come here and tell them, you members, I've come because I appreciate the role that you play. We cannot achieve what we want to achieve in this republic if we don't involve the members of parliament. It can't happen. It can't happen. As I conclude, if this republic fails, it's because the members of parliament decided to take their responsibility and decided to give the councils and the agency chairs. If this country will fail, it's because you decided to take your oversight function and decided to give the DCs. If this republic fails, you are telling the president, don't come again with your SONA. Go to the people and call the area development committees and tell them about the SONA. But, Mr. Speaker, sir, I know you. I know this honorable house that we are very visionary, we are very intelligent, and we know our responsibility. As I conclude, to conquer with the President of the Republic, go and make sure the 5 billion is implemented, but you need to make sure that the money is not stolen. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honourable members, let's resume our seats. Order to my left, order. Order to my left. Honourable Lilongwe Mapuyu South. Honourable Lilongwe Mapuyu South, resume your seat. Honourable members, I would like to thank the honourable member for your submission and the style of debate that you have brought to the House today is very unique of its standards. If people like Martin King Luntha was available today, Mark Anton was available today, they would be standing in aviation to what you have said. Thank you very much. Honourable members, let me now recognize the honourable member for, remind me the constituency, honourable brother.
Chitipa Center.
Sorry? What's your constituency, honourable brother? Is that Chitipa?
Yeah,
no, use the old system. The microphone that is on already. Use that one. What constituency is that?
Chitipa Central.
Chitipa Central, you have the floor for 10 minutes. Chitipa Central.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, for recognizing the great people of Chitipa Central to contribute on this very brief, summarized, and powerful SONA. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the people of Chitipa Central constituency convey their warm greetings to the August House.
Honour member for Chitipa Central, can you slow down so that we find a better microphone on your row? Honour members around Chitipa Central, can you help him locate a better microphone for him? Or is it his voice?
Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, it's my voice.
That sounds better. That microphone sounds much better for you. Take your time and represent your people.
Because I've lowered down myself. Okay, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, allow the great people of Chitipa to congratulate His Excellency Professor Peter Mutharika for living true to his inaugural words, where he declared, and I quote, "Malawi is in a crisis, and it is a man-made crisis that can be solved by humans." End of quote. True to those words, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the man-made food crisis has been addressed within a remarkable short period of time. There was a time when the country had no fuel, no forex to import essential commodities, including fuel. Men and women were sleeping in fuel queues at filling stations. Today, the situation is history. The people of Chitipa Central commend the leadership for decisive actions. On decentralization and local development, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I wish to repeat what I stated in my maiden speech in relation to the 5 billion Constituency Development Fund. I said that this CDF is historic, transformative, and represent true empowerment of our people. Because I want to be close to my mic. Mr. Deputy Speaker,
Honour member, I'm the only one with authority to ask you to do whatsoever. So don't listen from anyone else that wants to speak to you. They don't have that authority.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the people of Katutula, Chinunka, Masese, Mwenifuja, Siombwe, Naulongo, Nkonje are eagerly awaiting for the CDF guidelines. It's their hope that their member of parliament will play a very significant role on the CDF. They hope these guidelines will provide flexibility to allow the constituency to do a number of projects. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, when I was coming here, I gathered senior GVHs and sub-tiers discussing what is expected of their member of parliament here. On what we call our duties is not what they prioritize. They want development from their member of parliament. When I informed that our law now is about legislator oversight, they said we want development. So they're expecting the guidelines to give us a significant law to play on the CDF. They are hoping that with the guidelines, we'll extend electricity to all group village headman areas and primary schools, not relying solely on MAREP, but utilizing CDF where necessary. We would want to see a lady at Naulongo starting a saloon because there's electricity. A young man at Nasato to start a barber shop because there's energy from electricity. And a man at Nkumbilende to start a maize mill business because there's electricity. And that will not only rely on MAREP, but with the support of CDF to procure transformers for all the areas of in the GVHs. Mr. Speaker, sir, with the CDF, the guidelines will support to improve road networks with strong, capable bridges, provide clean potable water to all villages in the area, Construct and renovate decent houses befitting the status of our teachers. Build modern school blocks and health posts. Procure constituency ambulance, strengthen agriculture extension services, and where possible, even have a constituency office with an assistant in the office. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, we are hoping that we will strengthen agriculture. We are going to extension services in the area. We would want to see our extension officers to be mobile. For household development, it is important that our extension officers have mobility and enough fuel to make sure that they are able to reach their people. Still on the decentralization, we would want to see certification, training, and registration of cooperatives to be decentralized. Presently, the training and the certification is centralized right here in Lilongwe. They are in Gemini House. Now imagine a cooperative in Chitipa wants to be trained in cooperatives. They will say you are in a queue, you are number 526. When resources will be available, will come to train you. I think it's a disgusting way of soliciting money from the farmers. Now considering that our Minister of Agriculture has given us agribusiness officers, of trade officers, and most of cooperative members are farmers, we think they are capable to train the cooperatives. We would want to see that decentralized. On agriculture, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the people of Chitipa Central are happy that we were among the first districts to start receiving FISIP, and also that whenever we had challenges on FISIP fertilizer, the ministers were there to support us. I think my people in Chitipa will agree with me that our market, especially Chitipa Boma, used to have fertilizer in time. However, while we are proceeding these efforts, the people of Chitipa Central are of the view that we produce better long-term results than subsidized fertilizer. In many cases, the investment in subsidies outweighs the returns. Perhaps it is time for the nation to gradually transition from subsidized inputs to structured agriculture inputs loans that promote responsibility and sustainability. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, allow the people of Chitipa Central to congratulate His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika again for strong vote of confidence shown in his government by the United States government through the grant of $744 million. I think that's a very huge vote of confidence. Mr. Speaker, sir, on health, we are hoping that using the CDF, Chitipa Central will construct a decent accommodation for health surveillance assistance so that they remain on their duty stations. We also hope to construct a health post in the area of Senior GVH Naulongo. On transport and infrastructure, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the people of Chitipa Central appreciate government's commitment to prioritize Luntha Chitipa Road projects. However, we humbly propose that priority consideration be given to extend the project to Ilomba. It should be Luntha Ilomba via Chitipa Road. This would enhance the road economic and strategic significance. So it's either Ilomba, Nyika, Luntha via Chitipa Road or the other way around. To construct the road to Chitipa alone, it will not be complete. Although Ilomba to Chitipa alone, it would be incomplete. So it should be from Luntha, Nyika via Chitipa, Ilomba Road. That will make economic strategic significant. The people of Chitipa Central also commend government for its partnership with Ethiopian Airlines and expansion of the Malawi airline fleet. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the people of Chitipa would like government to consider constructing an airport at Chitipa as a long-term economic strategy. A Chitipa airport would serve as a regional hub connecting Malawi, Zambia, and Tanzania, thereby unlocking trade and tourism opportunities. On national peace and security, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, allow the people of Chitipa Center to commend government for acquiring an additional heavy-duty passport printer which will help reduce congestion at immigration offices. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, allow also the people of Chitipa Center to register concern about the continued operation of a military roadblock at Chilumba Garrison. While we recognize the national security importance, that is paramount, operations must always be exercised within the confines of the Constitution and the law. The continued military roadblock will result in delays to trade and transport, disrupt of people of Kalonga and Chitipa, and growing anxiety among law-abiding citizens. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, Section 159 and 160 of the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi clearly define the primary law of Malawi Defense Forces as protecting the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of the Republic, and its secondary law as assisting civil authorities which lawfully called upon to do so. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, security must inspire confidence, not anxiety. Law-abiding citizens must feel protected, not convenienced. We respectfully request that government review the need of that roadblock to ensure that security operations are consistent with constitutional provision and principles of proportionality and necessity. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the people of Chitipa Center support the SONA as submitted.
Thank you for that submission from the people of Chitipa Central. Honour member for Cholo Central, who happens to be the Minister of Local Government. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker, for allowing the people of Cholo Central constituency to comment on the State of the National Address as presented here in the chambers by His Excellency, the President of this Republic, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. On the onset, allow me, First Deputy Speaker, to thank His Excellency for returning me as Minister of Local Government after 2 reshuffles. It's not easy. I must say, when a night comes and you see the reshuffle paper, these other ones who were in cabinet would understand. And to His Excellency, I don't take it for granted that I have been maintained. Secondly, allow me to thank His Excellency, the President, for a SONA that has really provided a clear policy direction. It is a SONA that has set a pace. It is the SONA that has given people hope. What we're waiting for is now the final details of the budget. Remember, this is a budget session, and the budget is never presented by the President, but the Minister of Finance. As such, what the President does, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, is to set the tone in a form of a SONA. So for everyone who's been worried to say we needed final details of where the money will be taken and how the money will be spent, that is the responsibility of the Minister of Finance and not the President to do. I would like as well to thank the President for coming out very clearly in charging us, members of Parliament, ministers, judiciary, and all those that are within the public service, that in discharging our responsibility, we must do that with dignity. We must understand that the powers that we're using today are borrowed only from the people of Malawi purely on trust. Therefore, we can't afford to let them down. The president did not mince his words. He was very clear that he's not going to allow corruption to dominate as was yesterday. In case somebody wants to try him, then you try him. Otherwise, corruption has really derailed development in this country. It is time that we stigmatize corruption. It is time that whenever I or anyone wants to indulge in corruption, he must feel stigmatized by you or by me. And that is the only way that we're going to protect taxpayers' money. And indeed, the only way that our economy will begin to grow. It is this very president who has demonstrated leadership. There was a time when people who never knew what running a government was came in this chamber and he called people names with a lot of ambitions. Now, just like how in America they say, you ask for coffee, you've got it, smell it. Alas, the government was given to them. Look at what happened. Butcheries became the order of the day. They didn't even know where to buy fertilizer. Alas, they didn't know how to run the government to the extent that they could not even know that a pharmacy is not anywhere you buy fertilizer. And they went there in search for fertilizer. They did not know that when organizations are put in place, they are there to save Malawians. Look what happened. They created what they called mega farms, only to give fertilizer to people who sold them. They did not know how to use vibrant young men who are in the chamber now, really contributing positively today, spelling out very good policies today, but they put them in the bench, and it took people who never understood anything, and then what did they do? Plunder, 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 until this very country, Mr. Speaker, got on its knees. By the time His Excellency Professor Mutharika was getting into power, the economy was on its knees. And if it wasn't of the change of leadership, by now would have been finished. Our debt stress levels, Mr. Speaker, sir, by the time we were getting into government, was at 92% debt stress levels. 8 short of getting to default level. Data is there to back this up. What that means, therefore, was all of us, our children, our dogs, our clothes, our chickens, and everything was in the debt of Malawi. How can that be? In 5 years, debt from 4.2 trillion, surely getting it all the way to 22, 28 trillion. What were you doing with the money, by the way? What were you doing with the money? You thought it was mangoes in a tree. It cannot be. And there was tobacco with people who struggled. You couldn't even buy that tobacco. What were you doing? What did you think the running government was, by the way? Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I would like to invite them that just in 5 months, Second Deputy Speaker, you will see that inflation that was right around 30% is now going down. The biggest problem in an economy as we had was to stabilize the economy, to stop the economy changing it from the nosedive where we were, stabilize it, then it will begin to grow. But to expect that they're stopping it, if stopping it was easy, it is as good as saying, somebody who has just fainted here, you say, why have you fainted? And the person says, if you think fainting is easy, faint yourself. It is not easy. If you thought that running a government was easy, you have just seen. Mr. Speaker, it is not easy at all. 5 years, for 5 years, we were struggling in this country. But for 5 months, we've got fuel reserves done, and that one we have been. We now, people that are traveling, they can get a bit of it, not yet there, but there is hope. In this country, maize was going up to 100,000 kwacha, when people who were part of the running government were keeping way over 8,000 bags at their homes. And the philosophy they were running, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, they came here and said, we want to take care of the farmer. Food inflation is not about the producer. Food inflation, all inflation is about the consumer. 101 economics. You take care of the consumer, you take care of the other bit. We will now talk about the producer later. And that's the art of running the economy of a country like this one, whose inflation really hinges on the food inflation. Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
You have 1 minute to wind up.
Point of order. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I watched and saw...
Honourable Member, we need to allow the Honourable Minister to wind up so that you can come with your point of order. Because at the onset of his presentation, you've listened now, he's got only 1 minute. Let him finish. If you can forget your point of order, please ask your neighbor to keep it for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. When we have been given the authority by our people to run the government, we have to do it with all our ability, all our knowledge, and all our might. The people that are now buying the maize at 30,000, they now have got disposable income. From the little hard work that they were doing, when the maize was getting to 100,000, and they were discussing that, wait, we will sell it 150,000 kwacha, forgetting about the responsibility and the oath of office that was taken. And later on, they say, why have you bought the maize in Zambia? When they know very well, forces of the game, demand and supply, simple and straightforward. Bring out your maize, we will buy it, they want it at 150. Guess what happened? A lady from Mangochi, an economist, did her calculations, checked with the president there, the president of the republic, saw merit in it, and what happened? An influx of maize came into the country. Now, those that were hiding the maize, they began carrying the maize even on their own head, running with it. We've got maize in Malawi. Are you sure that the professor needed to wait for you until this is sorted out? Today, Malawians are able to eat. It is a healthy nation. It is a nation that is able to feed itself, that will be productive. I would like to thank the President, His Excellency Professor Peter Mutharika, for his wisdom, and that this country can see light again. As I wind up finally, let me assure the House that just like how somebody said it during the campaign, which never came, that we got it. I can assure you the 5 billion Kwajapea constituency, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we got it. I thank you.
Thank you. If such presentation was coming towards the adjournment, would allow to adjourn, but it's not yet time for adjournment. But congratulations, Honour Minister, you have clarified. You come with a point of order immediately after the leader. Leader, why are you rising? Leader, can I recognize the point of order? Why are you rising, Leader?
No, just wanted to guide the House, right on, First Deputy Speaker, that when we come back from health break, the Minister of Homeland Security will be responding to an item under
standing order
14, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
You have a point of order?
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker. Is it in order for the Honorable Minister of Local Government, citing economics, that inflation is a product of a consumer? Inflation is a product of demand and supply. If you don't produce enough, expect the prices to go up. The prices of maize have gone down because of two reasons. We are importing maize and that there is enough maize in the country. Now, is it in order for the Honorable Minister to say that the inflation of maize prices is a product of a consumer, not demand and supply? Is it in order?
Thank you. Honour member for Lilongwe Mapuyu South, there was a time I gave you an opportunity. Order, honour members, order, honour members. Order to my left, Lilongwe Nyanja, order please. Honourable Lilongwe Mapuyu South, there was a time I gave you 10 minutes and added 2 minutes for you to debate. You had all the privilege, my brother, to debate all that what you're saying now. If it's a point of order, you rise within a minute. And it starts by, is it in order? Not explaining about inflation, GDP, and all the others. Honorable Lilongwe Lumbas, you have the floor for point of order. Honour members, order. Let's listen for there's a proper point of order now coming from Lilongwe Lumbas. Let's listen from him.
Thank you, Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to raise a point of order. And as guided, let me begin by saying, is it in order, Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for the Member of Parliament for Cholo Centre, who is also Minister of Local Government, during his presentation to stop addressing you, because we all come here to address you, and start addressing the fellow members from the opposite side. For instance, what will you do? As if we are the speaker here. Is it in order? Thank you.
Thank you very much. At one point I said we might listen to a proper point of order, and indeed that was a proper point of order. I would like to sustain that point of order and remind the House that honour members, honour minister, address the chair at all times so that I can make rulings. Thank you. Members, I now suspend proceedings for a half a break, and the House will resume after 30 minutes at 24. House suspended.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Auto-educated team backed by cutting-edge technology ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees